And thanks for tuning in to Table Talk. I'm the host, Chad Hall, and we got a great show lined up for you this week. And hopefully you won't need her services, but if you do, we're going to bring in a lady that's got a new business here in Martinsville in Henry County, and we wanted to give her an opportunity to share a little bit about her business and how she can help you. And that is Miss Shannon Mize. Shannon, how are you?
Hey, I am good.
Thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you're originally from Danville, correct?
I am.
Tell me a little bit. You've been in Danville your whole life?
My whole life.
Your whole life. Now, you are first-class bail bonds.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, what would get a lady like you involved in bail bonds? How did you get kind of involved in that?
I have always wanted to be in the law field.
Okay.
Life happened. I went to school for paralegal. But
you were never on the wrong end of the law, was you?
No. Luckily, I was not.
She squeezed a few stories out of me in the office. I didn't say much, so anyway.
I always wanted to be an attorney. Well,
okay.
Anyway, life happened and that didn't pan out. So then I went to being a stay-at-home mom for 6 years until I was hired as a secretary by a local bondsman, Cale Stone, in Danville.
Okay.
Probably 3 weeks into the job, I knew that's what I wanted to do. The opportunity to help people with customer service and provide a service to the public that was an unusual service that not everybody needs.
Right.
But then I had the law there to fulfill what I would like to do. Mm-hmm. And so I pursued getting my license, and here we are.
Now, the gentleman you say in Danville, how long has he been in the bail bondsman business?
For 5 years.
All right, he was in it for 5 years, so it didn't take you long working with him to realize it's kind of what you liked.
I love it. I've put my heart and soul into it.
Now, you talk about being an attorney and different things. How all does it kind of work together?
Being a bail bondsman, it's good to have relationships with attorneys. Some people that go to jail, they are under no bond, which means they have to get an attorney. That's when the families can call a bail bondsman and kind of set up the whole. A lot of people don't understand the process. So having a bail bondsman in place, they can kind of guide the family through the steps and what direction to go in. And have an attorney in your corner, kind of a connection to call and say, hey, you know, I have a family here that needs this, and give them the number. And it kind of eliminates one step for the family. They're already having a hard time anyway.
Sure.
It's not an easy situation.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's not an easy situation. So again, you know, working with him for a little while, and then you realize you really loved it. But at that point, to step out from a kind of, you know, I'm not going to say 5 years, that's a pretty sustainable business. Most businesses, if they make it 5 years, they're pretty successful. You know, for you now, you're going to step out, and you've been in the business now not quite a year, correct?
Right.
So how big of a task was it to make that big leap of faith from, now we're talking about a stay-at-home mom here who went
Never
to work.
Underestimate the power of a mama.
Oh, no doubt. Look, I got one at home, got 2 kids, and myself. So you moms you're a different breed of power. Let's just say that. So that's for sure. So how did you talk to your husband, talk to your kids? How did you say, look, mom's starting a business?
Well, I come from a family, my mom and my dad were both self-employed people.
Okay, great.
I grew up in the household that I saw what it took I have the drive and determination of my parents, and I owe it to them also.
Right.
They did what it took to have a successful business and still provide it at home and had the family atmosphere. But really to step out on my own, I could not have done it without Mr. Stone's help.
Right.
He really encouraged me, and he has taught me, and he's there 24/7 if I need him, if I have a question, anything that I need. So I think this venture, I owe a lot to him also.
Now tell me, this is located in Martinsville, correct?
Correct, at 14 Bridge Street, right across from the Uptown Martinsville parking lot, in the orange building. You can't miss it.
You got
right
an orange
on the corner.
building. You
It's
got the
orange.
You're the orange building girl.
The popsicle.
Okay. Okay, good deal. Actually, you're seeing the picture there on your screen is a picture of the outside of the building, and also you can see the number as well. What we want to do, we're going to let you take a little look at that photograph, but we're going to take a quick commercial break because we've got to thank some of our sponsors. Then we're going to be coming back here to the studios, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about this new business and letting her share how she got it all started and a little more about location. So stay tuned. We're going to be right back.
something about miracles. We see them happen in healthcare every day. Diseases are conquered, patients are healed, and new generations of our community are born. While we may see marvels of technology and wondrous advances in medicine, Memorial Hospital cannot forget the true miracles are the dedicated people whose care and commitment to service excellence make a difference in the lives of Martinsville, Henry County residents and in our neighboring communities, one patient at a time.
Foley's Pest Control, locally owned and operated, safe for kids and pets. For affordable commercial and residential rates, call Foley's Pest Control at 340-8162 or 340-7231. Call now for a pest control or termite control inspection. Foley's Pest Control, locally owned, licensed, and insured.
At Goodyear, everything we've learned making tires for Hollywood stunt drivers inspires what we roll into yours. Assurance Comfort Tread Touring, refined handling for a smooth ride. Goodyear, more driven.
First Class Bail Bonds here in Martinsville, and joining me is the owner, Miss Mize. Again, tell me, you met with this guy in Danville, and it sounds like this gentleman is a great guy. I'd like to meet him. He's kind of pushed you over the edge, didn't want to hold you. He probably seen your talent. You know, that I appreciate someone that sees talent and don't want to hold on to it, don't want to hold you back, but he launched you and helped you. And I'm sure your husband and your moms and dads, you talked to them, they probably said, go for it. What in the world led you to Martinsville? I mean, of all the places, because if you're not careful, you can watch a lot of media, talk to a lot of folks. They talk a lot of negative about Martinsville. But I love it here, and obviously you do if you're going to come here and set up a business and kind of get ready to run a full-time business.
That's right. Where I work at is in Chatham, and I was exploring different opportunities and locations, and I came to Martinsville to actually do a bond, and I just fell in love with the atmosphere, the people here, and saw that it was only one bondsman here with an office, and I just started doing my homework, and I put it all together, and this is where I wanted to be for opportunity to help serve the community. One bondsman can't do it all. It's a lot of bonds out there, and I felt like Martinsville would be my place. It is several established bondsmen in Danville. I do bonds there, but Martinsville is where I really want to be at. So that's why I started looking for a building and found the small office, and one step at a time. So I'm here. Absolutely. So now you're going to have to help me because I don't want to tell on myself, but let's just say, for example, I was arrested. Okay. She's like 618. Give her a call at 1394. That's the first step. As soon as you get a call, you call a bondsman. Oh boy. So okay, tell me a little bit about if someone's watching the program, and like myself, I've never been bonded out. Thank goodness. Me either. So I've been in some trouble, but never been bonded out. How does it work? I mean, if I have a friend that's in trouble. I go to try to get him out, and I think you can use property. Correct. I guess surely you can use cash. Right. If you go and let's say I can't get that individual out, and I say, okay, I've got to call you. How does it work? You call a bondsman, myself, and I have an application that you fill out. Okay. The fee is 10% of the bond that is set for your friend. I go to the magistrate's office, and we actually post the bond there. And we go, and he's released from jail. Just like that? Just like that. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. It depends on the hours. I have learned that in the middle of the night that the people are released quicker because the courts are not open, because a magistrate has bunches of stuff that he or she has to do, not just the bonds. Right. They're dealing with the courts all day, so if it's after hours, it does seem to go quicker. But in anybody's case, if you get a call to say, I'm in jail, call a bondsman right away. Hey, my friend just called, he's been arrested. You need to know which jail he's in, he or she, which jail he's in, how much the bond is, and what he's charged with. And then that way, that tells me some information that I can call to verify, and then I can lead the family in the right direction of where to go, how long to wait, because sometimes it's processing. Different charges, they have to keep them longer, as in DUIs or drunk in public or charges on that nature. They have to, stay a little bit longer, so you wouldn't want to go to the jail and sit 2 hours waiting for them or 6 hours or however long it takes.
Right.
So calling a bondsman, they can lead you in the right direction of how long it would take and what time to meet there, and walk you through the process. It's a very scary process for someone that's never been involved in it.
Absolutely.
And that's what I like to do. I like to be there with the families and hold their hand, and whatever they need, I'm there for customer service.
Well, you're kind of on the, if you're in jail, you're on the wrong side of the bars, so you're already. But now, let's say if my friend comes out, does my friend at that point sign for the bond, or do I sign for the bond?
If you are co-signing,
so there is such a thing as co-signing for a bond.
Right.
Okay.
You would be responsible for your friend coming to court. Not physically putting him in the car, but if that's what it took, that's what you would need to do. But he has to sign also.
But trust me, the guy you just met, Rodney, if he's ever on bond, I'm not coming to get him. So he's just going to have to stay. I'll come get Doug, though. He's my producer. He's the one got us on the air, so we'll get him out if he has trouble. But so is there a process, let's say if I call and say, okay, my friend is in jail, and you go to get my friend out, but he can't get himself out. Maybe you got to have that co-signer. How does that work?
Well, that's up to the bondsman.
Okay, that's your discretion.
Right,
then.
that's my discretion. If different situations, I just get the whole story from everybody, from the co-signer and the person in jail, and just each situation is different. Some bonds require a co-signer and some don't.
Okay, so that again, that's on you.
Right.
As a
I just have to ask a lot of questions.
You have to make that decision.
Right.
So it's almost like selling a home to someone, and you got to make sure the collateral is good.
Right.
Because if it's not, then that forces you into I'm sure another area of expertise that you got to go through.
Right.
Which that's not, we're going to get into that tonight, but
Okay.
That's where you take aspirin and Tylenol.
Correct.
When somebody skips bond, I'm sure that's a whole nother show we could do tonight.
Yes, sir.
If somebody skips bond. But again, this is a new business here in Martinsville and Henry County, and it is First Class Bail Bonds, and her number is 618-1394, and we'll put that picture back up on the screen of the outside of the building there in Martinsville. Now, let me ask you this question as folks are kind of getting a look at your orange. Did you paint that? That's already.
I didn't.
That was already orange, wasn't it? I know. I'm thinking that was already orange. So now, this says 24-hour service. So at any hours of the night or of the morning, I might say, if someone is watching the program, or God forbid they've got themselves in a rock and a hard spot, and they have got locked up, they can call you. And let me ask this: let's say I get in trouble at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I make that call because I don't want to wake my wife up. And I call you. What's the process? How long would it take you to get me out of jail? Oh, let's just say a simple little charge, something simple.
1 hour.
1 hour.
1 hour.
So I could be
When you
out
call,
in an
I'm
hour.
in my car on the way.
In 1 hour. And like I said, that's simple stuff. Now, I'm sure you found some pretty tough situations. What's some DUI? What's an average bond for a DUI?
1,000 to 2,000. The magistrate who sets the bond, it depends on the person's record.
Okay.
If they've been in trouble before.
That makes sense.
If
got
they
a
have
big rap sheet,
family,
it's going to cost you more.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. If they have a family that lives, if they live from the area, if they live in New York, it's going to be a little iffy because they're trying to guarantee that the client is going to come back for court. That's the main goal, is to make sure that they come back. That's
Now, when
the
you
purpose
say
of the
that,
bond.
wouldn't, as a bail bondsman, wouldn't...
I'm guaranteeing that they're going to come back
and they
to
live
court.
in New York.
Now,
That would be tough, wouldn't it?
yes. And we don't bond everybody that we get a call for.
That's where I'm headed. Let's say
Yes.
I call you and I say, Miss Miles, I need to get out of the clink. You come and you find out, well, Mr. Hall, you live in Alaska.
Sorry, Mr. Hall. You're going to stay here, more than likely.
I'm going to get to see Martinsville 30 days.
Exactly.
Wow.
So it's up to our discretion, you know,
Right,
if
but
we do
that's-
the bond, if we, you know.
But a lot of folks, well, I'm kind of carrying on, we're laughing about it, but a lot of folks don't realize this is a legitimate business. It's a tax-paying business, and if it doesn't make money, it doesn't survive. So someone like that would be real easy to get back in the car and vanish,
Right,
and probably never get caught for not making it court.
right.
What are the odds of that? I mean, somebody that lives, say New York. You said New York yourself. Let's say they come through Henry County, they get in a massive brawl and get arrested on a $10,000 bond. You bail them out. They go back to New York, but they never come back to Martinsville. You have to try to go find them.
Exactly.
And then at that point, she begins to spend money because you got to pay for that.
And that's where the cosigner comes in. That's the cosigner's obligation.
So when you would talk to that individual, you would have to say, look, you're going to need to find someone that lives here that knows you to
Right.
sign the signature.
Right.
Well, at least
the perfect
they got
world.
a little option then. So if it's somebody just driving through, they're in trouble. Could be in big trouble if they've got in trouble. Okay, that makes sense. So, but there again, you know, I can't blame you for that. If you can't bail them out, you know, a lot of people apply to buy a car, can't buy one, or a house, or
Right.
whatever. You know, it's the same way. And you know yourself that a lot of your rental centers, their interest is what, 30%. That's why they're selling you that TV. So it's the same way with you, but you don't get to go up on your percentage. You just gotta.
Right. It's set 10%.
Yeah, it's set 10%.
Yes.
So, all right, great. Well, I'm hoping you're enjoying this. We're going to take another quick commercial break. Thank some of our sponsors. We're going to come back here in the studios. We're going to be wrapping up our table talk with this new business here in Martinsville.
There are 5 cell phone users in this house. So I looked hard at phone companies.
U.S. Cellular has changed wireless.
Only US Cellular has a rewards program like the airlines, where you earn points for things like new phones or to get rid of overages. AT&T, Verizon, they don't have that.
Come visit one of our locations at 301 Liberty Street in Martinsville and 324 TB Stanley Highway in Bassett, also with locations in Eden and Reedsville.
Since 1994, Angler's Choice has been the area's boating and water sports dealer. We invite you to come in and see our selection of Bayliner boats. Bayliner is known for its quality, design, roominess, and many options, including towing towers, swim platforms, sun lounges, and bimini tops. Angler's Choice, a national award winner for sales and service for nearly 2 decades. Angler's Choice at 6771 A.L. Philpott Highway in Martinsville. Call them today at 276-632-5600 and make sure you stop by and ask for your free t-shirt.
Affordable Parts, the area's only indoor salvage yard, is now open. Turn across from the Crash Center in Staleytown and follow the signs. The staff at Affordable Parts are friendly and knowledgeable. Never look for a part in the rain or hot weather. Affordable Parts is the area's only indoor salvage yard. Locally owned and operated and proudly serving Martinsville and Henry County. Affordable Parts at 629-1444.
First class bail bonds, again, Ms. Mize is joining me. You know, talking a little bit about venturing out as a mom and starting your own business, so to speak. Tell me, where do you foresee in the future as far as 5 years from now, maybe 10 years from now? I mean, are you looking to grow this business and maybe even helping employ more people in Martinsville and Henry County?
My ultimate goal would be to have 3 other women to be bail bondsmen with me and have the female team in Martinsville. That's my ultimate goal. It's very rewarding to me to be able to help other families that are going through something that a lot of them are embarrassed.
Sure.
But I'm not there to judge them or to criticize or to determine if they're guilty or innocent. I'm there to help them through this step in their life to get them back on track.
Right.
And when a mom comes out of that jail cell and her daughter's there waiting, and they hug and they cry, and it's very rewarding to know that I was a part of something. And I would love to find other women that has the same desire that I have to help people in this, and that has the knowledge of the criminal justice system. So that would be my ultimate, is to have my own building with 3 women employed, and not under me, as my team and as my co-workers.
Right. Well, now, one thing you got to realize, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty.
Exactly.
I mean, there's I'm sure in your line of work doing this now for a while, you've probably seen people you've bonded out after court, they're innocent.
Right.
And, that's perfect for those folks. And either way, it's a cycle. It's helping everybody who's doing their job. And unfortunately, some folks do get incarcerated, and that's, again, a cycle. And thank God for that, though. If it wasn't, I think all the time, it wasn't for the fine folks of Martinsville and Henry County, and I'm sure in Pennsylvania County, and all those guys work hard, we would live in a messed up society. And it's already bad enough. So, it's just a great thing. So, it's rewarding to you on that end. You're getting to unite families back together. And really, for you, how difficult is it to stay completely out? It doesn't matter. I know everybody's thought pattern is different. For me, I'm probably thinking, I wonder if they're guilty. I wonder what they do. Why they do that?
Well, when I first started, it was harder to, this is my job, this is what I do. And I got emotionally tied to some cases, and then after that, I had to step back and say, okay, my personal life, I can't involve this in my personal life on case by case. And since I've put that in my mind, it's been better. But it's hard. I mean, because people are people, and I'm here to help.
Right.
I'm here to help the public and families, and so sometimes it is hard to step back, and when the mom's on the phone crying, sometimes I just want to cry with her.
Well, that was one of my things. Being a woman, a lot of women are a little more emotional than men. But I also think that as a man, a lot of times, for me as if I was a bail bondsman, I would be like, you deserve it, stay in there. But you're like, yeah, let's get this guy out. So
that's what I'm here for.
Right. So 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If someone finds themselves in a jam, they need to give you a call.
Call me, and I will be there.
And again, if someone is watching the program and they're a little, let's say, embarrassed, or they don't know what to do, maybe the phone call's free, and she can help you. If you have a question, maybe she can answer it. I'm sure she can. But again, it's 14 Bridge Street in Martinsville.
Yes.
And you've been going on a year now. So how long have you been in the Martinsville area? Was it October, November?
Actually, I haven't even opened the office.
Okay.
August 1st, I'm going to open.
Wow.
It's ready to go. I just been waiting. August 1st sounded like a good day. So
it does sound like a good day.
I will be there August 1st.
So we're going to be up and running. So you've kind of been in training up to now, and now you're making the big jump.
I am. I'm going to do it.
Well, obviously you're going to do it, because we got pictures to prove that you're going to do it, or you've done it.
Both. It's a work in progress.
Well, we're all work in progress.
That's
so again,
right.
First Class Bail Bonds, 618-1394. And if you're in the Franklin County area and some of those other areas, call 276, and she'll be glad to help you with all of that. Well, I want to congratulate you. One, I want to thank you for deciding to come to Martinsville, because we need businesses here. And you have, I guess you have goals and intentions to employ more. That's a plus. So I'm excited to have you in Martinsville. I want to thank you for coming out and being on the TV show with me. And anything that we can do for you here at BTW. If something happens to one of my staff members, remember the TV show. Maybe I can bring you back on and we'll talk about them.
Okay. That's your discretion.
No,
everything is confidential.
I got a good crew here. That's a good thing. So that's really good. So I want to thank you so much for coming out, and anything we can do for you, just let us know.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. And don't forget, again, the number is on your screen. Give her a call if you have any questions. Again, it's First Class Bail Bonds here in Martinsville, and it's 14 Bridge Street in Martinsville. Can't miss that little orange building. That office is going to be there. It's open, waiting on you. Stop in and tell her hello, and if you need her services, don't hesitate to give her a call. Thanks for tuning in. There's more great local programming coming up next.